everyone! My name is Jennifer Stay, and this is Coloring Bliss. I'm here with Sleepy Little Rose and my husband Steve, my business partner, and the guy who's going to be watching your chat. So welcome, ask your questions. We are here to talk more about watercolor because it's still World Watercolor Month that we are celebrating here with Coloring Bliss. And today with this video we are going to be comparing some inexpensive brand products with some more expensive brand products and talk about when do you need to splurge and buy a more expensive product because you'll get a better experience and be happier, or can you get away with the cheaper product and be able to do your art and be just as happy with the less expensive product. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're also trying out some new brushes that I grabbed and from Amazon the other day, so I'm going to be showing those off to you as well and try out some new brushes, new to me as well, new sizes and things, so it should be lots of fun. For the first hour over on Facebook, we did a little head-to-head against Crayola versus Cra-Z-Art. I must say, I am biased. I do not like Cra-Z-Art, but we had some interesting results, so I'm going to share those with you here in just a second. Now, I want to remind you that we're doing a book a day giveaway over with our print shop, and we're doing that for July 2019 to celebrate World Watercolor Month. So there's a link in the video description where you can follow it and enter for your chance to win a book this month in July. Now, Steve, I think we've given away, 16 books at least so far. Yeah. So make sure you get over there and get your entry in so that you can win.
That's right.
So, yeah, is there anything else I need to know about that?
Nope, just check your email to double check to see if maybe you won, but for some reason your email provider blocked our message or something. I was saying how because we're using words like win and giveaway, the spam filters can be pretty aggressive with terms like that. So,
okay.
Yeah, but check those emails, go over to our Facebook page, check the post that's the giveaway. If you look in those comments there, you'll be able to see who's won every day. And maybe your name's on there and you don't even know it.
Ooh,
because we have had
exciting.
A lot of people who haven't claimed their...
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Whoa, maybe you're a winner right now.
Don't even know it.
Ooh. Very exciting, actually. That's cool. Okay. So we also have a 5-day coloring boost going on. So how do they learn about that, Steve?
There's a link in the description of this video, and you can go, and there's 5 short, actually 6, because there's a bonus. Video tutorials, video coloring tutorials that I think you'll like.
Okay, cool. So follow that, and if you've ever wanted to boost your coloring, we have some really fun things there for you. So you can, and that's free, totally free. So go follow that and enjoy that. So lots of fun going on. So speaking of fun, let me show you the results of the Crayola versus Cra-Z-Art. We were all sort of guessing who we thought would win, and I think everyone was guessing Crayola, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And let me show you what happened. So this is the swatches we did, and we have Crayola versus Cra-Z-Art versus Windsor and Newton Professional versus Mission Gold paints. So over here are professional, very, very expensive paints. You know, $100 expensive paints.
For like 12 colors.
Right. Versus over here, $1. So look at that. Crayola looks all patchy and weird, and Cra-Z-Art colors are beautiful and
this
strong.
Is on Canson watercolor paper with sizing, right?
Yeah, this is very professional. I'll show you the front of this book. Canson's more artist series paper here, not even like their cheap watercolor paper. So this is the real thing, and Crayola just fell flat. So isn't that interesting? Yeah. So we left off over on Facebook discussing that you can spend a very cheap amount of money and get one quality of paint. And then there's really, really expensive. And professional paints are all about high pigment and light, fast quality. And they have different not quality, like features to their paint. Some can be lifted, some mix well. There's a lot of reasons why these paints are very, very expensive. And then in between, there's a whole world of paint out there that you can pick from, and it's a lot of fun. And we were talking about how some people actually collect paint palettes. So comment below. Do you have a favorite paint palette that you really love and enjoy? I'd love to hear about it. We were talking about the Jane Davenport paint palettes are really inspiring to me. I was showing them the Bright palette is one of my favorites. That's this paint palette. So the Jane Davenport palettes are some of those that are kind of come in the middle with both price and quality. But the Brights palette is one of my favorites that I grab for because of the bright, fun, poppy colors that come in this palette. And I love it because it's all in one little kit and you get all these brights. Of course, I love purple, so this kit is perfect for me. It has a couple purples, these happy pinks. This is a really fun palette for me. So yeah, that's where we kind of left off. We're also playing around with some brand new paintbrushes that I want to show you. So let me show you what I got. That's these right here. I've had a favorite paintbrush that I've been using for a long time. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. It's a Master's Touch paintbrush. It's a number 8 round, and it's starting to show its age. The tips of the paintbrush are starting to get a little fuzzy. And over on Facebook, we talked about, I shared with you my plan to kind of condition the tips and kind of hopefully give this brush a little love. So if you want to go watch that, you can go watch that and learn how to love on your brushes if you've got a beloved favorite that is showing its wear. So that's my plan with this one. So in the meantime, I've had my eye on this set of brushes here. This is by Mimik, and it went on sale recently, and so that's why I picked it up. And I've linked this set. This is what the packaging looks like right here. And they have 2 sets in this line now. This set and then a smaller set called a Try Me set. So if you follow the link to our Amazon storefront and go to the watercolor section, you'll see both of these sets there, so you can learn about both of them. The Mimik set is anywhere between $30 and $40. I think someone said they were on sale at Jerry's Artorama as well. So this full set is anywhere between $30 and $40, and that smaller Try Me set is only $14.99. So if you don't want to go for the full entire thing, you can do that. So the big set came with all of these brushes here. You get a 2-inch flat. This one that I cannot wait to try. I've never had a brush like this before. This is a 30 round. And I just love the point that this one comes to. Can't wait to try that. You also get a 3/4 inch flat, which is a good all-purpose brush as far as for watercolor. You also get a rigger brush. This is a number 2 rigger brush. And then a whole bunch of rounds, which I find rounds to be the most useful, especially in coloring books, because they can get down into the teeny little details of a coloring book, or you can do big swaths, what's the word, big washes of color. So rounds are really useful, and that's why I think the number 8 round is my favorite size, because it's sort of in between teeny little details or big sweeping sweeps of beautiful color. So that's why I like a number 8 round. So you also have a number 4 round, a number 12 round, and a number 2 round. That's what comes in this set. Why did I pick this set? Because I follow Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. She's a watercolorist, and she recommended this as a really good kind of beginner set of watercolor brushes. And this is one of those products that I always talk about that, you know, you can go really cheap, like what they give you in the Crayola paint set. Let me show you how beautiful this brush is. Look at the high quality brush that came with this. That doesn't come to a point at all. Let me show you the difference between what this new brush, see how it comes to a beautiful point. You'll be able to draw a really good line, get into the teeniest detail of a coloring page, where this is just, it's just, well, they might as well have not even made these. So this is not worth it. And you know, go get yourself a better brush. So I would recommend buying at least one good number 8 round watercolor brush. That would be my recommendation, because that's the one I'm always reaching for whenever I go to a coloring book or to use, you know, to swatch or anything. I always reach for my number 8 round. It seems to be just right for me. Does anybody else have a recommendation? What size brush is your favorite brush? Because I love my number 8 round. So that's what you get with the Mimiks. They're animal friendly, high performance watercolor brush. So that's pretty cool. They're synthetic, and so you're not hurting any little squirrelies by buying the Mimiks. So that's pretty cool.
Nikki says that one of her favorite professional quality watercolor brushes is Sennelier. She says they're really luminous and glaze in very transparent layers beautifully.
That's cool.
She mentioned that Creative Mark, who makes Mimik, is a Jerry's Artorama house brand.
Yeah, I've heard that. In fact, I couldn't even find them at on Amazon for a long time, and then I think they started branching out to Amazon. So, yep. So very cool. Okay, and that's Sennelier. Is that what it was? I've heard that brand before, so that's good to hear your recommendation on those brushes. That's really good. Yeah, brushes are really neat. So, and I did mention over on Facebook, for a long time, I just bought the all-purpose brushes because I thought, oh, I could use it for everything. My acrylic paints, my watercolors and everything. But then I finally branched out and bought a watercolor brush, and I noticed a really big difference. The watercolor brushes are just more thirsty, and you can do more with them. All the effects you see the watercolorists doing, some of them, they can do it because they have the correct brush. And I was struggling because I was holding an all-purpose brush, and it just isn't the same. So yeah, you need a good brush. So, but do you need all of these brushes? Maybe not. So yeah, it's kind of up to you what you want to do, but I would recommend a number 8 round because that's my favorite. What's your favorite? Okay, so I wanted to try mixing. Now that we have kind of decided that between the battle of the cheap brands, Cra-Z-Art won, but that's just swatching one color down. So I would like to see what happens when you mix the colors, because half the fun of watercolor is mixing the colors together and making your own colors and layering, right? Watercolor is a translucent art medium. I said it right. And so when you layer them, you get all these beautiful effects. So I would like to see, yes, they swatched pretty, but will they layer? That's my question. So let's try it. I'm going to bring up my coloring book. This is made by us, Coloring Bliss, here at our print shop, and it's printed on our watercolor paper. So if you didn't know, you can have our books printed on watercolor paper now. And we've been playing around in here, as you can see. So let's just switch to the next page in here, which is this one. And let's prep it really quick so we can get it really wet. Okay, so while I'm prepping, if there's any questions, there's Steve's page. Steve, your page is still waiting for you to finish it in here.
Nikki says that Turner Watercolor, also at Jerry's for a wicked deal, is awesome too. Definitely worth checking out if you're in the market to step up. 18 different colors and 5 milliliters for under $30.
Oh, Turner brand, okay.
You don't have prings, right?
No, yeah. I really want them because I've heard a lot of good things about them as far as a good step up from Crayola and Cra-Z-Art, but not as expensive as Windsor and Newton and all those others. So I am just doing a quick tape down to a plastic cutting board. just to help a bit. So I've got blue painter's tape that I am tapping off onto my pants so it's less tacky. So just doing it really quick here. Okay. I'll go this way. Looks good. What color, Steve? I'm going to let you pick the first color.
Do you want to use your rotating design board?
Ooh, maybe. No, because we've got this thing's got wings. Okay, and then one for up here. Keep the water out of the holes. Oh, my hair got on that one. We don't need my hair in this piece of art. Down just a little bit. Okay, that'll keep the color out of the holes. All right, we're prepped. And let's bring up Cra-Z-Art. I cannot believe Cra-Z-Art 1 is still bothering me.
Angela asked why you tape it down.
I tape it down because it gives a nice border. That's one nice thing. I love that moment when you pull it up and you have that crisp border of the paint color. Also, I've got this piece of plastic here that I've laid down. And that's going to help protect my work surface and protect everything underneath. You know, sometimes, let me show you here. Sometimes the papers will shift in a coloring book. And if it shifts and some of my paint gets onto the one below it, that's frustrating to me. So if I have this plastic cutting board right here, then I know if I get sloppy with my paint, I won't hurt the pages underneath it. And then also it helps keep that page from warping quite so much because it's taped flat down to this plastic surface. And I generally let it dry here too. So I'll let it totally come bone dry and then I would pull up the tape. Although usually when we're live, I don't let it go all the way dry. I'll pull it off too soon, and sometimes it goes a little more warpy because I'm not patient and don't let it come all the way dry. So that's why I usually tape it down. All those reasons. Okay, let's get these wet again. So, because they were really hard to activate, remember? Really hard to activate. And we're going to try one of these new brushes here. And I want to try mixing some of the colors and see what they do. And I haven't even planned what we're doing. I grabbed this giant brush because I'm so excited about it. Now, it's going to hold a lot of paint, you guys. A lot. So let's color. What should we do? I've never used a brush like this. Let's try. This has a lot of small areas. What if we try, let's color the inside, this whole inside area, one big, and then we can layer. I like that. Okay. Okay. And let's try a lightish color because then we can layer darker colors on top. And let's go for, let's get it wet. Oh, it's so big. This is going to be interesting. Oh my goodness.
Carolyn just donated to the channel.
Carolyn, thank you so much. I'm giggling because this brush is making me giggle. I need a fresh paper towel. Wow.
Nikki says you may get too much water with that brush, but use it like any other.
Okay, thank you. I was just noticing it holds
And
like...
Jennifer says maybe save it for the background.
Yeah. I think you might be right because this is holding like massive amounts of water. Oh, it's really neat. Oh, wow. That's really neat. Look at that, you guys. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, I just had to try that. Had to like see what it feels like. Okay, let's get some green. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay. My brush is like twice the size of the... Okay, we're gonna like bring it over here. All right, you guys are in for an adventure with Jennifer here. Okay, let's get a whole bunch of green. I wonder how much paint there is actually in this little cup. It's just gonna soak it all up.
Out of it now.
Okay, that's all right. We're learning. Okay, we got the green. Now I'm gonna add some yellow to it. Oh, I just used my clean water. At least I didn't stick it in my drink. Okay, now let's grab some yellow. This is an interesting experience. I've never used a brush like this. Okay, now we're going to mix it together over here. I really don't know what I've gotten myself into. That's why we're here, though. We're learning. Okay. Now, I want more water because I want it to be pretty wet here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Now, this comes to a nice point. I'm going to take advantage of that and get right up here into... Can I do it? I can do it. Look at that. Oh, I love this brush.
Yeah. Nikki says those are such good brushes, it's hard to make it stop making a point.
Yeah, look at that. It goes right up in there. That is really cool. That is, oh, I made a little boober, but that's okay. We're learning. Okay, try again. Oh, that's just really cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Look at that.
Coloring Queen says, I really need to try new mediums.
It's so much fun. I think that's why I never feel bored with art. I can get bored of a medium. That happens. And then I just move on to the next art medium. That's why my collection is so big. But then I end up, you know, just rotating back around, and I come back to the things that I haven't used in a long time. So if you're really careful about what you buy, it'll be there waiting for you when you're ready to come back to it. So it's not wasting.
Lynn and Polly mentioned how they like watching you get so excited about it.
I do get very excited about stuff like this. Oh, this is a really fun brush.
Anna says she's combining Christmas in July with World Watercolor Month here tonight with some watercolor snowflakes.
Fun. Okay, there's the first layer. And the fun thing about a watercolor brush in general is how much paint it will hold and how long you can just keep going and going and going. But that was fun, and it just feels good. You want to hold it?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Feels good in your hand.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we need to get you painting one of these days. What do you want to paint, Steve?
Yeah, I'll think about that.
I'm going to have you go get me some fresh, clean water, because I used my clean water. Okay, now, yeah, and it's harder to clean out a big, thick brush like this. More swishing required. More swishing, Jennifer. Let's see if that got it clean.
Polly asked if you've tried the Yasamoto pearlescent watercolor paints.
Oh, no. I like the name, though. Okay.
And Luminaria says, I like the watercolor on the 5-day coloring boost. That's my fave of all. The second fave is gel pens, then color pencils, then Sharpies, then lastly the wheel.
Awesome. Okay, let's try another brush. Let's try, while this is drying here in the middle, let's try...
Well, you purposefully in this watercolor, or this mandala book, you did these simplified mandalas with larger areas, so you can't really take advantage of those tiny little brushes there, can you?
Yeah, I've never tried the rigger brush before.
Do you want me to go wash that out?
Yeah, I'm going to need clean water. Would you mind getting me some clean water? Okay, let's try. Actually, I'm going to save the rigger brush till the end for details. Let's go for this one, the 3/4 flat. Let's try that one. Okay. Now, we've got this pretty lime green color I created. Let's try another new color. And we're going to clean off our mixing area here. Okay. Let's make another new color. Here we go. I don't know what I'm going to do, so we're going to get everything wet. Let's go for Steve. Let's go blue.
Do you,
Another big brush in a tiny, tiny thing. Get lots of blue going here. There we go.
for our latecomers, do you want to share again what you were doing?
My craziness here. Craziness with Cra-Z-Art. Okay. So for our first hour with Facebook, we did a head-to-head competition between Crayola and Cra-Z-Art, and we all thought Crayola was going to win with these cheap paints. And Cra-Z-Art won. Look how much better the Cra-Z-Art paints worked. So now we're actually going to put them to a real-world test here, do some color mixing, lay it down on an actual piece of art here, and see how the Cra-Z-Art performs. We probably will bring in some of the professional paints as well. That's what this is right here, Windsor and Newton Professional, and some Mission Gold paints as well, just to show you the difference in pigmentation. And we were showing how beautifully and easily these activated compared to how difficult both of these were to activate and to lay down. So we had a nice discussion about why you might want to invest in really expensive paints versus really cheap ones like this. And we're also playing around with these new brushes I bought. These are by Mimik, a Creative Mark artist product. They are a really nice watercolor brush that I've had my eye on for a really long time. And I'm playing around with them now and seeing what they do. Just trying random brushes in the set to see what I can do while we're practicing with the mixing. Let's see, let's try adding some green into this blue. See if we can create a pretty blue-green color. Well, this is one thing I don't like about these cheap paints, is how long you have to rub your brush around in there just to get them going. Okay, we have created an interesting green-blue color. And now I'm going to take this interesting green-blue and we're going to try laying it in here. Okay, let's see. Oh, save it. More water. Now we were having lifting issues on the swatches, so we'll see if I can get this mistake I made to lift. There, that was decent. Okay. This would have been easier with one of the other brushes. I've got too much paint. So a watercolor brush, like I said, one of the benefits of a watercolor brush is it holds a lot of paint. So we've got a long bristled 3/4 inch flat brush here. So it's holding a lot of paint, way more than what we needed for this small little section. So yeah, I'm not exactly matching up the correct brush for what I'm doing, but that's all right. We're just playing here. Almost could go the other direction. Okay. Interesting. Maybe if I used my paper towel and blotted out some of that extra paint.
Tika says, I'm surprised about Cra-Z-Art watercolors.
Yeah.
I used to like Crayola, but now I'm wondering what I should get if I decide to get into watercolor.
Well, it's all budget driven, right? Do you have $1 to spend or $100 to spend? If you only have $1 to spend, I'd say Cra-Z-Art. if you have more than $1, then all of a sudden your choices are really going to open up. I did that video over on YouTube. Here, we're on YouTube right now. I did a swatching video and I showed all of my other swatches. Like there's the Kuretake Gonzai paint that is really fun. Of course, I really like those Jane Davenport palettes just because I like the colors that come in those palettes. There's a lot to
Polly
choose from.
just donated to our channel.
Polly, thank you.
She said, so delighted that you're feeling well enough to be with us tonight. Do not push or overdo it. We will always be here for you.
Thank you. Okay, I like that.
Tika has a question for you. Have you noticed if some sets make muddier colors when mixing and others are nice, brighter mixes?
Yeah. And I know it has a lot to do with, we've talked a little bit about this. And again, this comes from me knowing a little bit about watercolor. So I'll tell you what I know. When you buy professional watercolors, they have ingredients in the watercolors, right? There's the pigments and then there's the fillers that carry the pigments onto when you buy the paint, right? And then the pigments themselves, when you buy a paint, sometimes there's multiple pigments that make up that one color. And sometimes the pigments jive well together. So some colors, when they mix together, they go together really well. But if there's a strange pigment in that little recipe, it might not work well together with this other one. So if you're trying to make a green and you've got a yellow and a blue, but that blue has two pigments to make that one blue, and one of those pigments doesn't mix well with the yellow, they come together and maybe it's more of an orangey yellow and you've got more of a purpley blue. Those two go together, they're going to make a muddy green. They just will, because there's the wrong recipe. So yeah, when watercolorists talk about paint that they like, they usually look for single pigment colors. They really like that because then it's just one true pigment and they can kind of depend on that as a single ingredient. They know what it's going to do when they mix it with another color. So that's one thing to look for. And then you just start to learn about that particular yellow. I know it when I mix it with this particular blue, it does really pretty things and I get really pretty greens. So you just kind of learn which ones mix well together. And when you swatch them, can you hand me the swatch book? Mm-hmm. When you swatch them, make sure you hit it with water like I do. Let me show you. Because when you hit it with water, you'll see the undertones start coming out. And then you'll know, like this yellow right here in this Mission Pure Gold pigment, this one has a lot of orangey undertones and this one has less. So if you're trying to mix to make a certain kind of green, you would want to pair up this yellow with maybe this blue, would get a certain kind of green, where if you paired that yellow with that blue, you're going to get a different kind of green. So yeah, color theory comes into it, and experimentation and just learning and getting comfortable with your paints. And then I just like to watch my favorite watercolorists because they'll recommend what their favorite paints are and how they mix them and everything, and you'll learn a lot from that as well. So yep. Okay. So I still have a little bit of this pretty green left that I made. So I'm going to grab one of these small detail brushes. This is the number 4 that came in the set. And let's activate it here. Activate this paint. That's a cool thing about watercolor versus acrylic paint, is you can let it dry on your palette and you can reactivate it either with a wet brush, or you can spray it with a spray bottle and it reactivates and you can still use that dry paint.
Tika asked, how can you tell if a student grade or inexpensive watercolor paint has a single pigment or is a mix? Or is the less expensive more likely to contain multiple pigments in a color?
It will say on the tubes. And I don't know how to read the tubes that well. It says on them what pigments are in them. It's like, yeah, it says on them.
Nikki pointed out that one of the signs of a cheap paint is that you can't find any pigment info.
Yeah. I know that I was watching a video by Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, and she was talking about Paul Rubin tube paints, and she was so excited about them because so many of them are single pigment paints. And that's why she was so excited about them, because they were going to mix well. And yeah. So if you go to an art store and start looking at the tubes, you'll start learning about that kind of thing. Okay, there, I like that in the middle. Our crazy green we made. Okay, now what should we do, Steve? Should we make another blue color?
Sure. How are you feeling about the way they're mixing?
They're doing great. This is craziness. I don't get it. I'm baffled. Let's make a darker blue. Let's try adding... What do you think, Steve? What should I add to this bright blue? You tell me.
You better add some red.
Some red? Okay. Okay, this one right here. Really pick up a lot. Okay. Oh. Oh.
I was going to say, is it going to go muddy?
Let's hold it over the white. Oh, I don't know. It's interesting. It's going gray. Grayish blue. What an interesting color you've made with me. Okay, let's come in here. Let's add more water.
Try to pick something I normally wouldn't pick.
Yeah, that's what this whole thing is about here. Okay, let's add more water here. Let's really water it down and use it like a wash. There we go. Now we've got really watery version of it.
Birdie's Mixed Media wants you to take a drink.
Of my Dr. Pepper. Such a healthy thing to drink. I'm going to drink my Dr. Pepper here, everybody.
Those are crazy arts, right, that you're using?
Oh yeah, $1 for back to school, everybody. Okay, let's see if we can make it do something interesting here.
Tika says, looks teal. Pretty, though.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And then, what if we come in here now? Did I wait too long? Don't know if I like that effect. I'm just goofing around now, you guys. Welcome to my world.
I was thinking, like, orange, but then I was like, but that'll just neutralize each other, so...
Yeah,
I guess it's not too surprising that red would also neutralize the blue.
Yeah. Gotta think color theory. Think about your color wheel and what it would do. Trying to stay translucent here. That's why I added a lot of water to it, so that our cool yellowy lime color that we made will show up through this color. And then I'm trying the lifting thing so it shows through even more, but I don't know how successful I'm being. I have all these ideas. Whether or not I can make them come to be, especially with cheap paints or not. We're trying.
Well, speaking of color theory, Jillian asked, I don't understand how red and bright blue made a teal or blue-gray kind of color.
I'm a little baffled, too. You want to try to explain it, Steve?
Well, we know that, blue and orange are complementary colors.
I used a reddish orange, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to put you up here so you can teach, Steve.
Oh, I don't know about that. But
Teach them. I'm going to keep...
Well, on the color wheel.
Do
you have your color wheel? Oh, yeah. Give me your
We
big
have
color
this new
wheel.
one that Michaela Brothers sent us.
Oh, thank you, Michaela. Yes, she mentioned that. You know, on your color wheel, I don't know if I can get this to show here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blue and orange are opposite each other. That means they're complementary colors. And if you combine two complementary colors, usually they'll neutralize each other and go kind of grayish. Again, it all depends on what other pigments are in.
The pigments and the undertones.
If you had a true single color blue and a true single color orange. Then,
yeah.
But anyway, so Jennifer, if you'll notice on the color wheel, red and orange are really close to each other. And red and orange. And so it really is across the wheel from blue. Boy, that's hard to do, looking backwards. And so that's why it kind of neutralized each other.
Yeah. Good teaching.
Thanks. Back to Jennifer.
Who's trying to do different layers. And it's kind of looking cool, I think. I think it's kind of working. Especially considering we're goofing around with Cra-Z-Art. So I'm trying to get it darker now down here with what I have left on this palette. Darken it up right along the edge. Different layers, glazes. Is that what we call it in watercolor world? I think it's glazes when you do layers like this in watercolor terminology. I don't know. Whatever I'm doing, I think it's looking okay. Up close it will look worse.
So Gotcha asked, what's your favorite watercolor? Do you have one yet?
Well, when I was swatching, when I did the big swatch-a-thon where I swatched all my watercolor paints, the Mission Golds were the ones that I kept going, ooh, which kind of was surprising to me. Because I never knew anything about these, and like I said, these were gifted to me. But these were like, oh my word, they were really, really fun. But they are very, very pricey. So the Mission Golds were a real highlight. I'm trying to think which other ones that I was like blown away by. And of course, I like the Jane Davenport palettes just because, especially the bright palette, because I like that combination of colors together are just so fun and they're inspiring to me. So as far as like a set of colors that I look at and think I want to do something with those 12 paints, 12? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those 12 paints, I'm like, I want to do things with those paints. That's what those paints do. And then there's the fun metallics, of course. And the Paul Rubens, I'll give you a little heads up. They are amazing. So that video has been recorded and it needs to be edited, but I think we'll probably be getting that up probably by the end of this week. So watch for that to come out really soon because, yeah, those paints are amazing. Okay, we need to do something else along here. Maybe we need to go into a metallic. I'm feeling metallic. Let's bring up a metallic. Let's bring up the pearly green. Don't you think, Rose?
Deanna asked, can pastels be used with water?
Pastels and water, it's kind of like chalk and water together. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know. Maybe someone else has tried it with success. Okay, we're going to use this cute little green one right here. The May green from the...
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it out. So we just activate the one pan.
Jillian says, I tried it and it made a huge mess and didn't create something pleasing.
That's kind of what I'm imagining. If you imagine like chalk or like eyeshadow, if you were to like mix water into eyeshadow, it would...
Tika says that she's used them with water and they worked okay. And Nikki says, yeah, they're not a great mix, but it can be done. Christy's excited for pearly goodness.
Yes. I'm trying to decide which one of my new brushes. I keep switching around.
Polly says you can never go wrong with a little bling.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to try the number 4, except that's the one we were just using. Let's go for number 12. Let's go bigger. Number 12. Are we ready for some pretty visuals here? Everyone that is doing art or dishes or practical things, you can take 5 and watch the screen for a second and enjoy all things beautiful. Are we ready?
By the way, Birdie says she loves the shading you're doing.
Well, thank you. It looks better from far away. Let's just say that. But thank you. Okay, so I want these little, I don't know what you would call these shapes, squished triangle-y things to stand out from the background. So we're going to use this. I have my brand new number 12 round. Its initiation into the world is all things glitter. How's that for a good?
Wonderful.
Okay, here we go for prettiness. Oh, there's nothing more therapeutic than swatching metallic and glitter paints. That's what I did yesterday. I was feeling so lousy, and I thought, I'm going to go swatch my Paul Rubens again. And it was just so pleasant. Oh, did you see that? Oh. Thank you, little metallic paint, for making our lives a little better today. Okay, let's see what this May Green does. Now this brush has soaked it up. Like, I can see into the bristles and they're just full of this paint. So I'm curious to see how far this goes. Oh, look, it's just like dripping with beauty. Am I the only one that gets this much satisfaction? I cannot be the only one. Do you guys do this? Do you just sit here like this with your paints? I cannot be the only one. Okay, here we go. Now again, tiny little point that we can get from these brushes. Look at that. I can get right up into that point of that shape.
Jillian says if you did nothing else but stir that paint, I'd be happy.
You're going to love my Paul Rubens video. Oh boy, are you going to love that video. That's kind of what I did with that video. I'm just going to slow down, and everyone who loves metallic paints like me, we're just going to take our time with swatching these Paul Rubens and just indulge. And that's what I did when I filmed that. We can keep going. This brush is still soaked.
And Joe Bath says, yes, you aren't the only one.
Oh, good. Sometimes I'm like, uh-oh, am I the only one that is like a little obsessed? Okay, because I watched another YouTuber the other day, and she was swatching or trying out her metallic paints, and she was just not into it like I get into it. I was like, oh dear, maybe I am a little overly obsessed with these paints. Still going. I've only dipped once.
Angela can't wait for that video. I'll have to work on that tomorrow. See if we can get that tomorrow or the next day.
Yes. We're still going. I wanted to... How do you control a big brush like this? I think the problem is I picked a brush that is too big for the area. Again, I guess pair the tool with the right area, right? I'm still going. I haven't dipped back in, you guys. See the difference between a thirsty watercolor brush and a all-purpose brush. I would be dipping back in. We did that whole area, and this brush is still...
Wow.
Okay, we gotta do a little blending here. Let's just go all the way over. Let's just glaze it. We have enough on here, we can just cover the whole area. Let's just do it. There's enough on here to do all of it. That is really impressive. Are we going to make it in one dip? Now it's like a challenge.
The one dip challenge.
The one dip challenge. Well, we made it. That's awesome. Love you, little green guy. Thank you. Okay, put you back there.
What kind were those again?
These were
the Kuretake.
the Kuretake pearls.
Oh, yeah.
And I picked May green.
Those are so awesome. Love those.
You look more relaxed too now.
Yeah. Lori asked, would you use these brushes with Derwent Inktense pencils?
Yeah. Those are, yeah. Yep. Don't know what I was trying to say. I think what I was going to say is I like using a water brush pen with my Inktense. It's usually because I'm on the go when I have my Inktense pencils. But yeah, these are just really good brushes. I think they would work really good for any water-based media. I want to move this in the light a little bit. See how it looks. Whoa, bling, 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 bling. Okay, that's really satisfying. All right. What do you think? A little more crazy art? Let's put a little more crazy art down here. Let's go for a brush that's actually sized correctly. Yeah, see, that's a little bit more appropriate. Oh, bless you, Rose.
Luminaria says that was so lovely to watch.
I'm glad you enjoyed that too.
And Jen's wild about watercolor said she just saw the little dog. How adorable.
She's back there digging. Huh, Rosie? What you're doing it? She's doing the upside down sideways dig. Oh, your hair is stunning. Steve. Your hair is stunning.
Yes, it's beautiful.
We should fix your hair a little bit. Oh, there.
Oh, she'll fix it.
Oh, now it's doing this sideways wave. Oh, it's beautiful. You're beautiful. You want to shake? Oh, so dainty. Okay, back to work. Back to art, Rose. We're here for art. Okay, let's do this one more on the blue side. So let's grab this mix that we're going to do. Let's grab some blue and bring it up here and put it right here. Okay, now what should we mix into it, Steve?
White.
White?
Yeah, let's see how their white does.
Okay. Now, technically, you're breaking all the rules mixing white in. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that.
If you're a purist, a watercolor purist, never mixes white.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because the white of the paper is your white.
Huh? Yeah.
And if you're a hoity-toity watercolorist, you never, ever use white. It's like rule breaking big time.
Well, you're using crazy art, so I think you can use white.
I don't think I'm a purist. And I think it's silly to make any rules, to be honest. So, okay. More white? I think we need more white. And I think I'm going to add a little green, because I want it to feel a little green too. So we're going to add a little bit of green, which I think is the most stupid rule, because even my Winsor Newton professional paint set came with a white pan.
But isn't that basically like making a tint? Like, that's basic color theory.
Right. But you should know how to use
that's a really pretty color.
You should know how to use your watercolors without needing white.
Ah, I see. That color is like a little different on screen than what it is in real life. That is a really pretty color.
It's basically that color.
Yeah.
Did I just make the same
well,
color?
it's a little more blue, but...
Yeah, I was trying for blue with a little green undertone. That was my
That
my
is
goal.
kind of what that other color is, isn't it?
Let's bring more blue in.
Yeah, add more blue.
Okay. Oh, there. Now we're feeling more blue.
It's going a little more turquoise.
Yeah, more
That's
blue.
what you've made is turquoise.
Let's add more blue. Some of this blue.
Oh, I don't know. Is that going to mess it up? It's not going to be as turquoise now. I was liking that turquoise.
Uh-oh. Okay, that's our color. Whatever it is, that's the color. What do you think, Rose? So when you add white, basically you're making gouache, Steve.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, not really, because gouache has its own fillers and all that stuff. But gouache basically is watercolor with white in it.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Look how much I'm learning.
Okay, here we go. Again, I love how you know, I've done all this stirring. Look how abusive I am to this brush. Stir, stir, rub, rub, and pick it up, and bam, straight to a point. Look at that. You ready, Steve? Watch. Stir, stir, rub, rub, abuse, abuse. Bam, straight to a point. New brushes. Okay, here we go. Ooh, look at my color. Okay, let's see how far one dip of this goes. It's not going to go as far because this is a smaller brush. But I'm hoping I can do this whole shape with one dip. Okay. When I was drawing these shapes, I thought it looked like lips. Don't you think it looks like lips?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, it's really pretty. I like it.
With crazy art, you guys. The only thing we've done is add some Kuretake bling.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, just how white. Like you said, you can see how you could trigger a big discussion and argument.
Are they arguing about white?
No.
Oh, good,
No,
because
just...
I think art rules are funny. I remember taking an art appreciation class and the teacher being like, discussing how you can tell if it's a good piece of art. And I remember being so upset. We were in college and I was like, what do you mean if it's a good piece of art? How, we don't know any, we're just silly little like 20-year-old, 19-year-old kids in an art class and we're going to know how to tell if it's a good piece of art? It's ridiculous.
What, Rose?
She heard barking outside.
Anna wants you to use something sparkly for the diamonds on the edges.
Okay. Whatever Anna says, I'm going to do. Okay, Anna, you tell me what to do. What color do you want, Anna? Okay, she needs to go check out the barking.
Okay, you go see. Rose. She's got to give him the business.
Yeah,
Tell him what's up.
yeah, stay away from my house, she says. Okay. Make sure she doesn't.
Rose, that's enough. Come on.
Okay. I like this color.
All right, come
I don't know if it really matches
on. Come on.
the whole aesthetic or not, but that's all right. Oh, I have a big
Hey,
water droplet on my art.
All right. Back to your YouTube job.
Yeah, where's my co-star, my
Come
YouTube
here.
co-star?
Come here. Come here.
She's waiting to get up there.
Here we go. She's back.
Hello, YouTube co-star. Did you do your job? Did you defend our house from all other evil, hideous dogs? You can sit down. It's okay. You did good. Yeah, you can lay down. What? Do you have something to say? All right, we have gone around and painted all these lip shapes blue. It's not the most neat job, but I'm kind of hurrying now because Anna, was it Anna? Anna has things to do. She wants me to use more bling. So Steve, Anna's going to tell me what to do.
Okay.
Okay, so I have now rinsed my brush and I'm ready for Anna to tell me. Wasn't it Anna?
Yeah, let's see.
If she doesn't have an opinion, I'll just pick something.
Cards on my canvas. Asked what the brand is again
Of paint?
of your brushes.
Oh, my new brushes. These are the Mimik. This is the brand Mimik Animal Friendly High Performance Watercolor Brushes by Creative Mark. There's a link to them in our Amazon storefront. So if you follow our Amazon link, it will take you to the Amazon storefront where I have these brushes linked. And there's 2 sets there linked. This big full set and then a try-me set that you can order as well.
Okay, Anna says pull in your purple, but sparkly.
Ooh, I like that. Sparkle purple. Okay, let's see what I have. I've got these gem colors that are purple, but let me show you. I will give you a sneak peek of how they look on white. They are not that impressive, so I don't think we're going to want to do that. I gotta be careful to not show you everything. I gotta hide something so that you guys will watch my Paul Rubin video. Okay, here, let me show you the Kuretake Gem Colors Purple. Look how pathetic it looks on white. Now on black, it's amazing, but you have to wait for the Paul Rubin video to see it on black. So, yeah, that's right here. You gotta wait. So let's pick something else, purple and sparkly, because that's not gonna do it. Let's pick, we could do, good old gel pens.
A sparkle pop?
Sparkle pop. Should we just do that? It'll be fast. And it is past 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do a quick sparkle pop purple. And then we'll do something for a background. Okay, now the good thing about this sparkle pop pen as the purple bling is that it has the blue undertones. So it will match really well with the rest of the painting. It'll have that purple feel, but also the moment of blue when the light catches it. So let me show you. Can you see the bling yet? Oh, so satisfying. Okay. So in my messy way, I'm going to hurry and color down the purple. I should have started on
Jen's
this.
wild about watercolor says any sparkles. I love sparkles. And Anna says fun. Sparkle pops are love.
Oh yeah, look at that. Let's come across over here. I should have started over here anyway so I don't drag my hand into wet gel pen.
Nikki asked if you've tried the new black watercolor paper.
No, I did watch Lindsay the Frugal Crafter did a hummingbird painting on black watercolor paper, and I jumped immediately over to Amazon to order some and saw the cost and went, I can't afford that. So there was a cheaper brand of black watercolor paper, but it's still over $1 a piece of paper. And I couldn't bring myself to buy it because I don't know how much I would use it. I wish I could just buy like 2 or 3 pieces and then play around with it. Now in my Amazon storefront, I did link a sketchbook, a Canson black paper that I really enjoy. And that's what I used to swatch my metallic paints. And I've done some really fun gel pen art in that book. It's really nice paper. it held up really good to the watercolor when I was swatching. So I'm just going to stick with that paper for now. And if I get really serious about painting with my metallic paints, then I'll definitely invest in that more expensive black watercolor paper. But for now, I think I'm going to be a little frugal on that choice. Put my money into something else. Okay. Oh, I'm glad we went purple. Look how pretty that is. I think I might do a little purple in the middle too, to bring it together. It's nice. It gives it really good contrast, having this really dark moment where everything else has been so pastel so far. It's nice to have this moment of really dark color. So this book here is Mandala Bliss Volume 3, and you can have it printed on all kinds of different paper. This one's the watercolor paper, and I designed this book so that it would have lots of open spaces, so you can, it's a more simple mandalas, so you can have room to paint and do all kinds of fun things with this Mandala Bliss book.
Angela asked, can you layer black and go over with another color?
Yeah, a black marker works really good for that purpose. We've done, it was over a year ago, we did a video where I colored certain sections of the page with a black marker, and then we went over it with like the moonlight pens and stuff, and it worked really well. That was a really fun project. Okay, so I'm going to draw little simple triangles with my purple pen at each of these junctions. Now I'm wishing we had that rotating board. Oh, I missed one. Okay. There we go. Now we have the moment of contrast right in the middle. Okay, now I want to do something around the outside for the background, and we'll call it done. Okay. And I think I want to bring up this yellowy color again, but instead of doing paint, I think, unless someone has a suggestion, did someone have a suggestion, or am I going for it? I think I'm going for it. I have an idea.
Kim would love to see a small pop of red or orange.
Ooh.
Angela was asking about, with the black, I think she was asking about like a black watercolor paint. Can you put another color on top of it?
You have to remember watercolor, just like how I can take water now and reactivate this dry paint here. When you hit water on here, you can do the same thing. If I hit this with water, it will reactivate this paint on this paper. So when you work layers with watercolor paint, there is this danger of reactivating your layers below. So
it might just mix the black in.
It might. There are techniques to avoid that, but I'm not the one to teach you that, because I'm not good at it. So you'd have to go learn somewhere else. Usually they work from light to dark when they are painting watercolor because of that. So, Steve, I'm thinking to do like a buffing of the color around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
What color should I do?
Well,
I was
maybe
thinking
yellow or something.
I was thinking yellow too, but these are all very orangey yellows, and everything I've done is blue undertones. So now I'm changing my mind.
What about...
We could do chip sapphire and go dark bluish purple like the... Or is that going to take away from our bright purple pops? We could do peacock feathers.
Yeah. Could do
Or
you could go crazy with some kind of an orange or something. Ooh, that cracked pistachio is pretty, isn't it?
yeah, and it's kind of lighter than all of them.
Yeah.
Let's do cracked pistachio. Okay, come here, cracked pistachio. Because I want some.
You had pink.
Everybody's.
Raspberry.
Oh, yeah, we could go
orange.
pinky.
Spiced marmalade.
We could
Scattered
go pinky.
straw.
What about the spun sugar or the shaded lilac?
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty.
Should we do shaded lilac?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or antique linen. I mean, yeah, any of them. Whatever.
I'm going to go shaded lilac. Because it'll bring up the purple. But it's still a blue undertoned purple. Okay. Wow, I got supplies going everywhere now. Why does this always happen to me? Do we have a... We don't. Okay, and I'm going to use not the foamy, but the felty one. The felty. And here we go. Wish me luck. Okay, let's load her up. Ah! Sorry, Rose. It's okay. It's just this. Smell? It's just that. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see what this shaded lilac is going to do. And then this is going to look really fun when we take the tape off, because it'll have the border. I haven't used these on our new watercolor paper before. I just realized that. How fun. Oh, and I'm working on the corner they can't see. How very good of a YouTuber am I? I'm shaking the whole world. I bet the cameras are shaking. This is an aggressive technique.
Luminari is wondering if Rosie's good enough for treats now.
Oh, has it been a month yet? I've lost track of time. She's like stopped asking for treats. She's given up. I'm never having treats again, she says. We have started letting her have
A little bit here and there.
a little here and there. Like the other day, we got a hamburger and came home with the French fries. And the French fries are her ultimate favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Which we don't give her, just to be clear.
What we do is like I'll give her a teeny like 1/8 of an inch off the end of my French fries, and she'll do anything for that 1/8 of an inch. Like she'll perform 10 tricks in a row for the 1/8 of an inch of a French fry. And so we came home with these burger and fries, and I'm sitting there with them, and she's like right to the side of me doing these tricks. Just tricking it out. Please. I haven't had a treat in weeks, please. So I gave in and gave her probably 3 little nubbins because she was being so cute.
Don asked, is the Distress ink working differently on watercolor paper or about the same?
About the same. If anything, I think it's going down easier. I'm having trouble up here by the spiral, but that's just because the tool doesn't have room to move.
Tika says she has an idea, maybe a live video sometime where we all vote on colors to use in the picture.
Oh, that would be really fun. I would like that. Kind of like when we let my nephew choose all the colors. It would be interesting to see how it would turn out. I think there must have been a little water on that tape there because something went weird. That's okay. We'll keep working it. And then this watercolor paper that we use is very smooth. Has a texture to it, but it's smoother texture. So this tool is moving really nice on it.
And this is not the good side of the watercolor paper either, because I accidentally
that's right.
printed it
You
on the
printed
wrong
my
side.
book wrong, which I don't care because it's working just fine. Shows you that the paper is pretty good if even the wrong side is working well. Okay, I'm trying to buff it in a little bit more here. Okay, we need to do a little spritzing and we'll call this one done. Gotta add spritzing. Jennifer's watercolor stuff is never complete without a wee bit of spritz. And we're gonna use this long rigger brush. So we're gonna have spritz going everywhere. Steve's like, not the spritz. Protect the microphone. Okay, let's put this away. Put this away. Okay, we're gonna use what's left of this paint right here for the spritzing. So I'm gonna get my brush wet. Look at that.
Anna says, I was watching an artist here this morning. She was playing with pan pastels and blowing dust. She has cats. I freaked out and gave her the Bessie lecture.
Yeah, not many people know about the pastels. If you watch the professional artists, they're the ones that know about the dust. The ones that are not the crafters, but the professional ones. They're the ones that will warn you to be careful with the dust. That's where I learned it. Well, this little rigger brush likes to spritz. This is very satisfying.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm just reactivating whatever is left here that we mixed and using it for my spritz.
Do you happen to know if these brushes are US only?
I don't.
Simon was asking about that.
Good question. Jerry's Artorama, do they ship outside the U.S.? Because you could order them through Jerry's Artorama if they ship out of the U.S. I like that they are a squirrel mimic without hurting the squirrels.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing loves to spritz. This might be my new favorite. I won't ever use it for what it's intended. It's always just going to be my go-to spritzer. Okay. I did it. I have completed another page in one sitting. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm getting good at this, completing them in our live events. It's a little, you can tell I dripped water right here.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It shows that I was having fun. Okay. Well, crazy art.
Holly got Lulu the ladybug to clean up her
Ah, I like that name, Lulu the ladybug. All right, let's do the big reveal. This is the fun part if you guys enjoy this as much as I do. Remember to peel back on itself, the tape. Don't peel straight up, but peel back on itself like that. and you have a better chance of it not damaging the paper. And if you did the trick where you tapped it on your pants or your shirt to get the tack down, you even have a higher chance of it not hurting your paper. Slow and steady and back on itself. I learned that from another YouTuber too. All these little things the University of YouTube has taught me. There we go. Okay, let's put a date on it. What's the date?
17th.
July 17, 2019. Okay, I'm going to move it in the light for you. I like it. I like the bling though. Can we have a moment? Okay, let's hold it up this way too so you can see it this way. Oh, I like it. I'm pretty happy with that for Cra-Z-Art with a little sparkle pop and a little bit of Kuretake mixed in. Pretty good. And I must now publicly apologize to Cra-Z-Art. We have found one product now that I can say I recommend.
Very good.
So that's pretty cool. What do you think, Rose? Do you like it? Oh, she could care less. I like it. So, yeah. Okay, so if you have to pick between Crayola or Cra-Z-Art for your kids or for yourself, get the Cra-Z-Art little palette of paint because, yep, it did good for me. I was pretty impressed. Even mixed pretty good. Who knew? Okay, so keep an eye out for the Paul Rubin video, especially if you are like me and you would just sit back and enjoy watching metallic paint be stirred for hours. Well, it's not literally hours for you, but anyway, you're going to love that video. It's really going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to enter for your chance to win a watercolor book. There's links to that. Don't forget to check out our Amazon storefront if you want to see any of these products. Most of them are linked there and you can learn about all those products. And also don't forget we're doing the 5-day coloring boost. That's also linked in the video description. So thank you for joining us. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye everyone.